Hello, everyone. We are back from our break and from our Jeopardy recap episode last week, of which our own Gamma was second place. No.
First.
Buddy.
Buddy?
Obliterated us.
Won by 16,000 points?
Second place maybe only to Dumey.
No, I think it was a close game. It was really, really close. It was a nail biter at the
I
end.
had
How many zeros?
Gamma had like 34,000 points, and I had 15. That's the next
30,700 points.
33,700.
33,700 points.
I don't know. I doubled my points at the end. That's all that matters. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I need to remember exactly the number.
Oh, well, see, we did the
I have
mathematics.
it written down somewhere.
No, we did the mathematics to see if there was any way Wanda could beat us with her 16,000.
Maddie had it written down, and I just remember it.
Memories, fun
I'm just
memories.
salty.
Anyway, we are back now. It is episode 26 of Journeys. Oh, everyone has finally received their Christmas presents for 2023.
Yay!
I finally got mine after it got lost.
Yes. And somehow the surprise lasted until the last person got theirs.
That's because you asked us to.
And I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
We're not jerks.
You surprised me, and it was a wonderful Christmas present for me.
Look, I
Um,
can't help. We just now know that we can't use the U.S. Postal Service for me. It didn't work.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I have no idea.
I don't either.
And
Wait, did ours arrive?
Yeah, it made it to
I
a
literally
different
got mine
continent before
a
it
few
made
days
it to
ago.
Canada and to the East Coast.
yeah,
Oh,
well,
Jeez.
Put it this way: Doomer could have driven it to me faster than the mail got it to me.
I could have walked it to you faster.
If I had the money, I could have gotten it to you faster.
But
Yeah.
here's the thing, though. Wander's never made it. Like, Wander sadly didn't get, like, the postcards and the sticker and the Christmas card. I ended up having to
Aw.
reorder the ornament from the maker and have them ship it to Wander.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
They said it.
So,
Logistics, I mean, it's baffling seeing as Wander and I could walk to each other's house.
I know. The same thing happened
In a
between
reasonable time frame.
Jason and Garganoth. Garganoth got his 2 days after Calen and Saren got theirs, and Jason got his like a week after I sent it. Like,
Huh.
they hang out all the time, so they're relatively close together in Canada. I will share a little bit of joy to all of our friends that are watching. We have a new, well, unofficial mascot here in the Dungeon Master's office.
What?
He's a little tired right now.
Oh, he's so cute. That's so
I
cute.
love him.
Oh my gosh.
Yep. So he sits.
I want one.
He keeps my chair warm while I'm not here.
Oh,
They're adorable.
that is the best. That's the best boy.
Fox glared at me when I told me I wanted one.
How fucking dare you?
I said eventually.
Well, I've seen the Squirtles and the Bulbasaurs and the Pikachus.
But I
So-
keep asking
Charmander's top
Lachlan for like
tier.
a miniature goat, and he goes, "Yeah, not yet. I know it's never going to happen."
we have Owood, we have Duo. Would this be Voodoo?
No, this is Charmander.
I respect it.
Charmander doesn't get a nickname.
Charmander is Charmander.
Charmander's too cool. Charmander's too cool for a nickname.
Exactly.
Let's be real here.
Oh, well, I
Can
think
we at least call him Charmy?
Charmy. Okay, we'll call him Charmy.
Yay.
Okay, that's adorable.
It's a
So
very charming name.
we have waffled and
Me and Charmy.
Dumey and Charmy. This is true.
No, this is Patrick.
But yeah, that was a gift from our Venus, who is our video editor. And I just want to send a shout out to Venus from all of us here. She has been editing all of Journey's Djruthourhi. She has done all of the video game footage and has started working on Adventures Anonymous editing to get out all the dead spots so that it is all for everyone's viewing pleasure.
Thank you, Venus. We love you.
We appreciate you, Venus.
We love you.
Thank you, Venus.
And speaking of Venus's work, I believe it is time for us to slip into game mode. And for that, we have a new opening. So I'm going to leave it here, and we'll be back in just a moment. One second, got to rejoin as player for the watching. Okay, that way we can actually not see all the behind the scenes stuff.
What? You don't want us to pay attention to the man behind the curtain?
I don't want
There is
everybody
no
to
man
see
behind the
myself.
curtain.
Just your friendly neighborhood eldritch feline familiar.
Sounds suspicious.
It's the dungeon meowster.
No,
Eldridge usually is suspicious.
this is
Don't
This
be
is-
suspicious.
no, this is not a thing.
Yeah.
And
Dungeon meowster.
Meow.
Dungeon meowster.
What was that,
Anyway.
Meowster?
Meowster.
I will mute you all, I swear.
Meow.
see,
What's wrong with you, Meow?
Yes,
Hughes?
meow.
Meow.
Meow. See? Meow.
I'm waiting for
Get
it anytime.
muted.
Right about meow.
Meow.
all right. So,
You're done with our shit already, and we have been playing
Yes.
for minutes.
it's like 15 minutes in and I'm already there.
And
Okay.
this is how we die.
All right. So, little recap here. We'll just start with the most recent leg. Well, off on a separate adventure, Jason and Mia and newly minted member of Light's Gambit Amber had an encounter with Trier, who had made an offhand comment about Valley Rest, where it all began for this group. Teleporting there in a hurry, they ended up colliding almost into the rest of the group, who had been in the elemental plane of air with Kev Corvus, a silver dragon that has been hiding in a elvish form among the humans since the Exodus. Both groups converging there found out that Valley Rest had been attacked, and many, if not most, of the citizens had been changed or encased in these dark crystals and were being harvested and taken by Trier's followers. Forming a plan while at their stronghold, they decided to rush headfirst in and took out one of the Starspawn lieutenants of the big bad evil guy on their way to the docks. There was a massive battle at the docks with levers and fulcrums and the power of friendship retrieving the soul of a child, and another lieutenant dying, and then as the remaining members of this evil group left, seemingly having what they came looking for, the adventurers were left to search the ship that was left at the docks. Below, well, first of all, they found paperwork describing what the ship was there for, as well as a letter detailing the opponent's next moves and course of action. And upon searching below decks, they found the usurped captain waiting to blow the ship up. With some quick moves and a little bit of deception, they ended up catching the captain and taking him out on the docks, where they began to interrogate him. There was a bit of interrogation, not much learned, but the captain did seem, at least in part, cooperative. Through some discussion and a bit of realization, we got some. Well, Kyrie got some peeking into her own history, and perhaps some revelation into just what was being searched for on the ocean's floor outside of Valley Rest. And I believe this is where we pick up with the captain still bound, and most people gathered around as Kyrie would be returning to the group after her vision from Tamara. If anything sounds incorrect, feel free to correct me.
I do remember you got.
We rescued a small child.
Yes, through the power of friendship.
Erythel took June away.
Yeah, June has been taken to the to our stronghold.
Yeah, with
Yeah.
Erythel.
You guys
Erythel.
were also gonna see. We were talking about going back where I found that letter eventually.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there were a couple of letters that we'd opened and read. And we were debating what we were going to do about Calen missing, whether or not we were going to continue looking for the keys of Ternok in the swampy place or go after Calen.
Not the swampy place. The
No.
location of one of the keys is the Slandala vaults, which
Yes.
which Galloy warned heavily against going, and then when he found out that the Slandala vaults are actively being targeted, he's like,
We probably should to protect the rich shit inside or something like that.
Are we taking a vote on whom, like, what we want to do? We need to, like, establish where we are currently?
What time is it, Dumey?
Well, why don't one of you do a survival check? It'll be the first roll of episode 26 after the break.
I'll roll survival. I'll set the tone.
Oh boy.
oh, sorry, that's supposed to be Saren.
It's
It works.
It's before dinner time.
Okay.
Is it too,
Is it after lunchtime?
Yes. And welcome,
is it
Garganoth.
too late? Thank you.
Hello.
Did we miss the breakfast menu, by the way?
Yes. You missed the
Yeah.
breakfast menu.
Aw.
Those cut off at 10:35.
They stopped
Okay,
doing
so-
all-day breakfast when you went off traveling because nobody else ordered it.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. When I say there's an end to breakfast and you only get one breakfast a day, the whole party loses their fucking minds. Doomy says it. It's like, oh yeah, this is just a thing.
I mean, I don't know if you could hear the sadness in my voice, but it's there.
It was quite evident.
Eldritch, feline, familiar,
Meowster.
sarcastic fox. Phenomenal cosmic power. Itty bitty nose.
What was that?
I embody that statement and it terrifies me some days.
So, Demiaricus.
Demiaricus?
Yes.
Did you just? Yep, you did. Okay.
So this is how Galloy dies and just spontaneously explodes.
Garganoth will defend him to the last breath.
I don't think you
Rock
get a
fall,
chance.
everyone dies.
I'm sorry, you need a shitload of rocks to kill me. I can evade 90% of things.
So I'm now gonna talk in character. We have succeeded at clearing the village of most of the insurrectionists. Does this mean that your fort can be freed up?
Are you trying to send people away already?
I would not think of sending people away in need. However, if there is space available and it is their homes, perhaps they would want to return.
Personally like it if we're having people return that they would have escorts to sweep their home prior to them going in it. I am putting my vote straight away in to get Calen. That is what I want to do. Effective immediately.
Why don't we take a breather, maybe set up camp slightly outside of the village, set up a fire, have some food. And I know this is me talking, but I'm trying to be mature. But maybe we should take a minute.
Why we're not hastily going after them. This is a member of our party. This person has been here, I assume, since the beginning because they were a part of this before I was, and no one else is eager to get her back.
I am. Calen is the reason I am here, and Calen is an incredibly dear person to me. But I also know that if we as a group run in headstrong with high emotions, it never ends badly. Some of us are still injured, out of ways to cast spells. If we run in head first, we are going to lose more people in this group, and I don't want to lose more people. So I think we need to make a plan, but also not go anywhere tonight because a lot of us need rest to be able to get Calen back.
Yeah, an additional issue is we have no way to follow. They went into the realm of my mistress. We have no cause or ability to enter.
Those of you, while you're standing there, notice that the captain who's sitting there tied is laughing from under the brim of his hat.
Can I kill him now? No.
Have something to say, whelp.
Ah, if you all knew how daft you all were. The first elf over
Tell
there.
us.
Well,
Incredibly dumb.
your first elf over there wants to run headlong into a place she has no idea what she's talking about. The second one's the only one speaking sense. Those portals they take, they go straight into the Shadowfell. That's how they move around so fast. That plane of existence moves under you. You don't move through it. You think, and it moves. And you ever have any
Do me
experience with that? Do you?
I do. Let's see. I'm going to take a single step towards him and teleport directly in front of his face. Is my intimidation from last session still up?
No, he was tickled with a feather by Hawks.
And then I intimidated him.
That's right.
It's been a little bit while you guys have been talking. You're gonna have to intimidate again.
Okay, well, I'm going to Misty Step. A flurry of feathers like bursts around me, and I'm going to intimidation.
Nice.
Told you to
Damn.
get the metal one away from me. I ain't gonna give you nothing if you don't get this one away.
Does
Given
your
us
ship
rapidly
travel through the
nothing
fell?
Does it look like it travels through the fell? It travels on the water.
How about this? You give us something, and we'll get the metal one away from you.
Should we trust you not to leave eagerly? Wouldn't that be something you would want us to do? To stay and let your partners continue on getting out of reach.
I've already been paid. I don't need to catch up with them.
I mean, alternatively, we could give him over to a rival crime family and just let them torture him for information about other things.
He has plenty of.
We're not going near that
Idiot.
crime family of yours.
I didn't say mine.
My mistress. She
Maybe
would
we
enjoy
don't
your soul.
get a reputation of bartering with crime families.
Galloy, give me a perception check.
Perception? Do I get advantage because of how close I am?
Mm,
Yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't make a difference if I did. Continue.
Chuck him in the middle of the ocean. Like have hawks swim him out and leave him out there.
I can do that.
He's
With my hands tied. Some group of heroes y'all are.
Do you fear death?
No, I fear the metal toaster in front of me.
Do you fear being stranded in the fell?
again.
Take you with us as
Give-
an offering to anything that would want to eat us.
Give us something. We'll get the metal one away from you.
Shark bait. Blah.
Toaster. Ooh, ha, ha.
You already have me ship. I don't have anything. Well, it's probably not worth it. It's probably not worth anything anyway.
Hella,
Information.
Back him off and I'll tell you.
please.
I would
Galloy,
stand
please take a step
upright
back.
and I would take a single step backwards.
That's all Malagus was going to ask, too.
You, dwarf with the feather.
Yes?
Argonaut?
Take off me hat.
Garganoth walks over, thinks about putting his boot back on for him, remembers the smell, and then just chooses not to and puts it back down. Okay. And he walks over to take off his hat.
Garganoth, as you take off the hat, you notice that there's something solid that's being hidden under the hat.
Of course, his head.
Of course, his head. And as you look inside, you find this strange wooden box that seems like it's had some age to it. There are some faded carvings in the box that are kind of filled in with almost a coppery, oxidated green.
Okay, so this thing old.
Is
Okay.
it locked?
What was that, Saren?
Is it locked? I'm gonna look at Garganoth and say, is it locked?
I don't know, but I'm definitely not opening it now. I mean, well, until we find out more, I guess. What is this thing?
Give an investigation check, Gar.
Garganoth, like, really... Garganoth takes a real close look at this thing. He almost even brings it right up to his eye.
Please be careful.
It's a box.
Oh, no.
Gar,
Lay it on me.
it's a wooden box, and it's got some really old carvings on it. Yeah, it's a wooden box.
Well, it's a carved box with wooden pretties on it, and he looks over to the dude who's tied up. Oh, okay, what now?
I tap Garganoth on the shoulder and I say, Master Dwarf, the elf is salivating.
Well, they can wait. What is this thing?
But if I knew what it was, I probably wouldn't have given it up so easily, but in me quarters they were very happy when they found this thing. And after they all left, when I went to look, perhaps they had taken out what was inside because the box itself was empty. But it looked old and possibly valuable, and I thought maybe I could make some coin by selling it.
Garganoth shrugs. Garganoth shrugs, and this is fair enough. And then he, like, raises his. He, like, backs up his hand as if to, like, toss the box at somebody carelessly. And right before he lets go, he says, just kidding. And he hands it to Saren.
Oh my god. The way you giggle is terrifying.
I'm gonna check it for traps
Give me an
to
investigation
make sure
check.
it does. I'm gonna look around it at all of the seams. I'm gonna look under it. I'm gonna look at the latch. I'm gonna see if there's a little keyhole that's hidden somewhere in all the inscriptions.
Well, with 2 19s, Saren, as you begin inspecting this small box, it's about the size of a jewelry box. A bit of looking and shifting it in this direction and that, you notice that on 3 of the sides are keyholes hidden among the oxidized copper. However, the box itself isn't locked. It's actually easy to open.
So Saren's brain went, "Oh, the keys of Ternok might open it," and then she was like, "Oh, no, it's not locked."
As you open, as the lid of the box is just kind of, loose and open, you notice that there are no like latches or anything to keep it shut.
I'm gonna open it.
Inside, it's a fairly clean for being underwater for so long, but it shows that the box itself is about a ½ inch thick, and inside's just an empty cavity of wood.
Can I see the 3 keyholes that were on the outside on the inside?
No,
If that
you
makes
cannot.
sense.
Jamie, does Galway know anything about the keys of Ternok?
I mean, the legend was always that the keys of Ternok were made to gain access to Delante's band.
So I'm going to explain to the girl. So there's 3 keyholes, but you can't see the keyholes or anything inside the box. Can I see any false bottoms or false sides or anything that would give up that this box isn't normal?
With your already established investigation check, no, it's solid all around.
Perhaps the keyholes are ornamental, and whatever was inside is related to the keys.
But that's dumb. Why would you put a keyhole in a box where there's no purpose and no latch and no locking mechanism? It makes no
Look,
sense.
If we take a rest, maybe.
I mean, we need to take a rest anyway.
Does anyone have the energy to like detect magic on this thing, or something?
If we had a wizard, but
One moment. I think I might have.
I'm just out of energy, or I could.
Go ahead.
I can make the box bigger.
That would not help.
I can use detect magic, and I have a spell slot for it.
That is what we need, or what I was going to hope to try to check it out with,
Yes. Let me
in hopes that
see.
maybe that gives us something.
Alright, let's see. I say, let's check this out and rub my chin and cast detect magic on it.
Roll me a D100, Kyrie.
Oh, fun.
$16.
Oh no.
Kyrie, as you cast Detect Magic, you're used to the brightness that all of your companions give off with their magic items. However, when you focus your sight on this box, it glows with the aura and power of each school of magic that you're aware of. And you feel almost like a feedback whenever your detect magic spell touches the box. And while the spark of magic isn't really visible, it's more like a wave of like heat lines in the air. And you start to feel a bit revitalized as you begin to gain 5 hit points about every 6 seconds, if you're missing any.
Oh gosh. Okay.
Are you okay?
This is definitely something I've not experienced before. I feel all of the schools of magic coming out of this. I can't really
Mhm.
pinpoint onto it, and it feels like it's like revitalizing.
Perhaps the box held one of the keys and this is a residue. They are keys to reality, more or less.
If that's the case, then they have 2 of them now.
That is terrifying. We may want to have someone else take a peek at this and see if they can get more out of it.
Well, if
I
we have
definitely
to,
cannot.
well, if we have to go to the Slavaren,
Slandala.
Slavaren,
Slandala.
Darren's just calling them the Slavaren vaults for now.
You know, every time you say it wrong, Gallo just says it correctly.
Darren don't give no shits about this place because she doesn't have to break into it. The Slavaren vaults, and ask someone there, because if they're good at dealing with, no offense, Galloy, magical hocus pocus, maybe they can help us.
There is
What-
one person who may help.
Or we
If
could
they are
use
not dead
someone
already.
to identify the box.
Yeah.
Not me. Can't do that anymore.
And all it takes for you adventurers to forget about your friend is some old empty box.
I am going to shoot an arrow right next to this dude's fucking ear with my giant lightning bow, and his ears are going to bleed, hopefully. Do his ears bleed if I shoot my thunder arrow right next
I
to his
am right
head?
next to him. Please no.
Yeah,
Are
I'm
you
pretty sure everybody
I
hit by that.
Let's remember your words like 5 seconds ago when you were like, let's not be brash and let's not rush into anything and
I'm
things
not
don't
rushing.
work out. when
I
we
didn't
do
say I'd
that.
kill him.
If I'm going to get a lecture about having to think things before I do them, follow your own narrative. Or is this a do as I say, not as I speak?
I live do as I say, not as I do, but I'm going to listen to you.
Okay.
We
I-
go-
It's on the back burner. Unless it's a portal straight to Calen, I don't see how it's relevant right this moment.
Slandala vaults may be very well the best way to get to your friend.
How many
They
days more?
have a plane shifting portal to the Shadow Bell.
I would not be surprised, but what they
Don't
do
know
have
for
is
sure.
information about the location of my home.
Okay, so here's the thing. You're new. I won't take it out on you too harshly, but Calen isn't. And I'm not going to run here, there, and everywhere around the world and let Calen sit or be tortured or rot or be killed because we're searching for all of this information first elsewhere.
I'm with Mia on this.
I believe you misunderstand my intention. My home once housed a portal to the Shadowfell.
Something tells me if we try to track them to find the key, we'll find Calen along the way.
Well, where's your home?
The Slendala Vaults.
No.
No?
The artifacts from my home were stored there. I do not know where my home is. The terrain
Well,
has
then that
changed
is
too much.
Unfortunately, not a path we're going to take. No offense, I'm not going to go on a side quest, circumnavigate to find.
Are you forgetting that the enemy who has your friend is also targeting the Slandala Vaults? Where supposedly one of these keys is held.
At Galloy, like, who the fuck are you and why are you talking to me? New guy? No. Sorry, I think that we can do something else to get to where we need to go, because we're gonna go there, we're gonna get sidetracked. Every time we hit a new place to find something, it doesn't go that way. We get there, we don't find what we need. 80,000 people need help. We have to help those 80,000 people because we're bleeding hearts. And then Calen ends up like some fucking Shadowfell sushi.
I take offense to that.
I'm just like super weirdly confused why no one else cares.
I have no bond with Calen. I do have a bond with this world, and if they have 2 of the keys so far, they will be going after the 3rd. If this world falls, rescuing Calen will not matter.
They're after the key, then the bad guys are after the key, and we can get Calen.
If I might,
That's what I was also saying, was if we try to meet them, we can most likely find Calen along the way.
I don't know if she's going to be along the way. Why would they bring her along? That's just a body that could potentially escape that they, for some reason, want.
Deep fell magic often needs a sacrifice.
Magic in Shadowfell needs a sacrifice?
Sometimes. Powerful old magic often calls for it.
Like what?
Okay, I think we're getting lost here. Mia, I want to find Calen as much as you do. But if Calen finds out that we abandoned the main thing of saving the world for her, I think she would kick our ass.
Everyone's laughable right now. But yeah, sure, fine. Split the party if you want. I think it's fucking nuts that we're so ready to abandon her.
Who said we're abandoning Calen?
Your perception seems to be we are attempting to not rescue your party member. However,
She could be dead already because we're talking about this.
how were you planning on getting to Calen?
Any way I can.
Wouldn't it make sense to go to the vaults where they may have a magical portal jumping thing? The keys of Ternok is there, and we also might find a way to get Calen. Doesn't it seem like maybe this place that we don't know a lot about, that we have like lots of magical things locked away? Surely there will be some sort of plane jumping ability there. Potentially. It's our first and only lead.
It's not our only lead, actually. We have allies. Like, that's the crazy thing, is we have people that we can reach out to and ask before we go off on a fool's errand.
Who would you ask to teleport us to the Shadowfell?
look over at Amber and I'm like, Amber, Terry's gonna know.
Didn't Terry send you guys to me with her teleporter thingy?
Fucking ball of doom.
That
Right.
one. Ball of Doom. Very
If
appropriate.
anybody
I think she
knows
might find
how
that.
or where to find a plane shifting gadget, gizmo, circle, whatever, it's going to be Terry. And the crazy thing is we could reach out to her with a spell and say, "Hey, Terry, blah blah blah," and
Well,
then we'll know.
I did reach out to her just a little bit ago to let her know that, one, I acquired you and Jason, and I don't have any reason to think that she wouldn't be at least entertained to see us.
We don't even have, unless she has something to send us, we don't have to go to her. That's another waste of time. Unless you have the runes to teleport into her circle.
I mean, I can teleport us. Most of us, if not all of us, I think.
Do you think Jessamine might know anything?
No, Jasmine doesn't know where half of the teleportation circles are in the city.
I bet you I know who does, but I wouldn't trust them as far as I could throw them.
Hey. Hey?
And that is, like, no offense, but it's not the time to be coy.
Painted in the fucking church. You know, the group that
They
we
don't
don't
like me.
fucking trust.
Weren't the church
They don't like
in
any of
line
that.
with Sharia?
Guys, we're wanted in the capital city. We can't waltz into a church. We
Speaking
are
of,
wanted.
isn't the church currently marching towards Valley Rest to arrest us?
Yes.
Or at least arrest you? I'd be fine.
I'd be fine.
So, yeah, we need to make a choice. We need to get rest. We need to find something to... Where are we going? I know we're
mean,
not
it's-
abandoning Calen, but we cannot let them get that third key.
The ability to plane shift is likely either with your friend, Terrence, or perhaps at the vaults. These seem to be the only leads, unless I have missed anything in these conversations.
I mean, the captain won't tell us who hired him, so I can't go down my route.
I mean, you can start chopping off fingers and toes until he does.
He
Chopping off
did.
fingers and toes is such an unelegant way to torture someone.
He did
There
tell
is
you
no
who
perfect.
hired him.
He was
The-
hired by the cult of Sharia.
Yeah, the bug mage.
I hate
Yeah, but it's,
I don't hate bugs, but I hate that bug mage.
Amber, do you have any spells in order to contact Terry?
If I can take a rest, I can use sending, but that's about it. I used it last time to contact her and had to use it twice, but if I can take a rest, I can do it again. No problem.
Can you cast up? And do you have any sorcery points?
I can probably cast up, and I have lots of sorcery points.
Irie. Can you still have a chance at reaching her. Send Calen a message. Her being on a different plane doesn't 100% negate the possibility that it could get to her.
I should have a slot for that. Let me check.
Whilst messages are being sent, I would say, did any of the fallen lieutenants of the enemy have more of those candles? Perhaps we could use one if they research the bodies.
We did.
Yeah, we searched all the bodies.
Yes, you did.
While messages are being sent, I am going to tell the group that I'm going to start a fire just outside of the village and get some food ready. With a sarcastic tone being like, well, I'm the only wood elf now, so fuck me, it's my job now to go hunting. Yay.
How are we outside the village? We're by the docks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are on this dock right now.
But I also don't want to set fire to the village.
Perhaps it would make more sense to check one of the houses to see if there are supplies there rather than hunt for them.
You're clever. I like you.
Yeah, the Ibiwitz's adventuring supply store is right here.
I've never been to Valley Rest.
Colonel Lambkin's estate is right here.
I'm going to do what I do best, and instead of looking for accommodation in the woods as a wood elf, I'm going to trudge through empty houses.
Hold on.
Because I'm the
wouldn't that be
worst
stealing?
wood elf to ever be a wood elf.
I don't feel great doing this. It sounds like stealing.
Yep, too bad. Let's go. And then drag Hawks off with me.
Anything to roll?
No.
Some coin if you take anything.
I'm not going to steal from people who've lost their livelihoods. I'm rich now. I don't need to steal from people. This is merely a convenience, so I don't have to go hunting or build anything in the woods because nature.
Taking from houses is stealing.
Uh-huh.
Kyrie, go ahead and type out the 25 words.
Yep, I'm working on that.
Okay.
While Sarah and Hawks are arguing, I'm just gonna look over at Mia. All right, what am I telling Terry?
Need to get to Shadowfell ASAP. We'll pay a trade. Get us there as fast as you can, or tell us how. I don't know how many words that was. I didn't count. Sorry.
Yeah, we're gonna need. Can you type that out to me or some vague approximation of that so I can either streamline it or go from there?
By the way, Saren, I'm not going with you. I'm not stealing.
Although I think that she would object to it being called stealing, as she's planning to leave coin in response.
Yeah, well, I am gonna use a strength check to decline being dragged away.
That's doable. Give me an athletics check.
Ooh.
Hi.
I typed up 25 words exactly.
Yes, perfect. I will post it in chat. I'm so proud of you.
You'll have to wait and see what Sarah enrolls Hawks.
Athletics or strength?
Athletics. Hawks, you try and wrench from Saren's grip, but she's holding on pretty tight. You may have to talk your way out of this one.
I am going to whisper in a very, very hushed tone to Hawks. Hawks, if you tell anyone what I'm about to tell you, I will kill you in the night or find a way for you to disappear. All of this hocus pocus magic stuff potentially maybe be linked to the people I used to work for, and I don't want to walk around a city in the dark by myself with people I used to work for potentially watching me. And if I get knocked out or kidnapped, I need someone to know that I just haven't bailed and run.
Why don't you take Malagos instead of me? Someone who's stronger than I am.
Because I don't like talking to Malagos about my feelings. I'm not good at talking about my feelings. Anyway, shut up. Let's go. Let's find somewhere to stay. And I'm going to keep dragging Hawks along down the street. Looking for somewhere to stay.
Kyrie is gonna shout.
Oh
if you
no,
can find
Saren's
a
weakness.
diamond-
Feelings.
Go ahead,
Fuck
Kyrie.
you.
Kyrie's gonna shout. If you can find a diamond worth over 1,000 gold pieces, can you buy it, please, or at least leave the money there?
I'm going to
just
yell.
in case.
I already have one.
Okay, thank you. Be safe.
Hawks is gonna turn into a hellhound so he can sniff out anything.
Like being a lord.
Ooh, wait a second, Hawks.
Can you just text Malagos so and says bite me?
So, Hawks, you're using the cloak?
Yes, sir.
Give me a charisma save.
Wait, why?
Because I asked for one.
Okay.
Best reason in the game, because your DM told you to.
Thank you. Hawks, you use the cloak and change into the Hellhound form. You're getting kind of used to this by now.
I'm gonna pet the hellhound and keep walking.
Fish dog.
Alright, I'm working on Terriani's response. Kyrie, how's yours coming?
I've got a couple more words I can throw in there.
So, Amber, as you send out the sending spell, there's a moment, and then your response comes. Plane shifting. I have just the machine for that. Sadly,
Oh god.
I've not tested it yet. Or built it. Mossback druids. They travel to Feywild and Shadowfell.
If Mia, when I get this message, there's just a series of expressions on my face from like plane shipping. I have just the machine for that. Excited. Sadly, I have not tested it yet. Frustrated. Or built it. More frustrated. Mossback druids. They travel to Feywild and Shadowfell. Okay. And I convey this to Mia.
What the fuck are mossback druids?
Your guess is as good as mine at this point. Would you like me to ask?
Yes. Who are they and where are they?
Wait, Amber. Give me a history check.
Oh. Fuck. Well, fair enough. Hey!
I agree with you. That's
25.
useful.
So,
I
Amber,
like that number.
there was a long time ago when you were in your employer's court that you remember a group of, at the time, in your younger years and thinking that all other races were lesser than dragons, these inferior, savage creatures that wore cloaks made of moss that seemed to be almost attached and living off of the hosts. And they had come to speak with your employer about Shadowfell magics, traveling to the Shadowfell. And you remember this especially because they had brought a bunch of maps and scrolls of places they had mapped out in their exploration. And with a 25, you also remember where they are based.
Oh.
You and your big, beautiful dragon brain.
So yes, I would then convey this to Mia very much using some kind of coded language, like, well, when I was still employed by my boss, hint, hint.
A young man, my father drove me into the druids.
To avoid the copyright.
When I was still working for my boss, I actually remember meeting some of these mossback druids.
Okay.
And they had maps and scrolls of all sorts of places in the Feywild and the Shadowfell. And Unless anything has changed, I think I know where to find them. In fact,
Do you think
unless
that your boss has already gotten to them and said don't work with X, Y, and Z? Or he's so powerful it doesn't even matter at this point?
that one, probably that one. And had you asked me 2 days ago, I would have given you a very different answer.
How
More
far?
than likely. What?
How far are they?
God? How far?
Well, let's go to the map, shall we?
To the map, to the map, to the map, to the map, to the map.
All of our Twitch watchers can see the map. If you look
Hey, I'm the man.
on the map and see the red circle where our heroes currently are, Amber would explain that hundreds of years ago, decades ago, when last this was a topic, that the Mossback Druids came from a section. Well, do you see the little compass at the bottom left-hand side of the map?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that big green area just above it.
So we go past the $10 vaults on the way.
Slandala vaults at that.
The Slendala Vaults are the black rocky crags to the east of that grassy or that grown tree area.
So we could kill two birds. Oh wait, I'm not there.
Have you ever been to them, Amber, or were they strictly coming to your court?
They came to us. I didn't
You
exactly
really
go
like them.
out much.
Was there anyone that you spoke with in particular? That you could send a message to asking for an SOS?
God. Was there anyone in particular that I would have spoken to or connected to that I could send a message to and send out an SOS? And hope that someone gets my message in the bottle?
You really didn't make any personal connections. You were kind of, I mean, to put it in the nicest form, you were kind of just secretary / personal assistant.
I mean, that's nicer than I would have put it.
Would talk with the people on
I don't know the name of the city though.
But, and also, I probably would have very much been under the impression that they are beneath me in every way, so probably wouldn't have tried to foster too many kids. This is all in my head, by the way. I haven't said these words out loud to Mia yet. As far as personal connections went, that wasn't really my job.
Yeah.
And beyond
Too
that,
good to be true.
hey, I know where they are. Unless something has changed, I can get us to them.
How?
If you can get me a map, I can show you where they are. And we can
That
plot
get
our
us
course from
there.
there. It at least tells us where we're going. We can plot the most direct route. We can find out if they have a teleportation circle.
Well, everyone wants to sleep anyway, and I'm sure we have a map at the keep.
Oh, I'm sure you do too. I'm sure one of you might even have one on you. As much traveling as you guys do.
Mia checks their bag, and she's like, oh, shit. Here you go. I thought Jason had it. Here's the
Well,
map.
Thankfully, you two are conjoined at the backpack as much as you are at the hip.
Yeah, where'd that asshole go?
I don't know. It's not my job to watch him. He's your husband.
That makes it even less of my job.
I find a crate and I roll out the map, and obviously
I find a crate, and sleeping in it is Jason.
I find a wine barrel and open it up to find a kobold.
Oh,
Yeah, a drunk kobold.
A very drunk kobold.
how long you been in there, buddy?
Oh, there was this adventuring party. They carried me around for months. You don't even know what it was like.
Wild. You're right. I've never met an adventuring party in my life.
All right, back on track.
For a minute. Yes, but I find a crate, roll out the map, and I would point out to Mia where the Mossback Druid's base is. Last I had been informed, and as far as I know, nothing has changed.
How
That's
close
where we
can
need
you
to go.
get us there?
Well, I wasn't exactly the adventuring type. I could get us back to my home easily, but as far as getting us exactly where we need to go, not the best odds. I've never been there. I can try.
Meanwhile, the
Why don't you spend
captain's kind of craning his head and looking at the map. Looks like
Sir?
you all need a ship.
Wild, we've got one.
It's almost like we could just commandeer yours.
But
Do
do we
any-
have time?
Do any of you
that'll
have
take
experience sailing?
We got
Calen did.
we have an ocean guy. Yeah, sure.
I'm sure between the lot that I'm traveling with, with Mia at the helm, they can manage to rustle up enough brain to make this work.
Yeah, the wheel turns the ship, right? That feels pretty self-explanatory.
I'm half tempted just to roll to see if to let me make a history check if there's a book I read about this, but I almost don't think it would be worth it.
I mean, if you want to see if you've read a history book about it, that's fine.
You know what? Why not? Worst
Can I
case
see if
scenario.
one of my miscellaneous slave masters owned a ship?
Nope, I've never read a book on sailing in my entire life. I don't. As far as I know, books on sailing don't exist.
Amber, you find the ocean repellent.
Hey, for
You're-
good reason.
You're a fire dragon. You came from the desert.
Exactly.
Oh, so she would hate it if I did this? Create water over amber?
That's rude.
I immediately set Hawks on fire. I
We don't
forced
have
him out
time
of
for the hijinks. People are dying every day, Hawks.
I forced him out of the Hellhound form and set him on fire.
I was gonna say,
Power
Hawks is with
stun.
Saren in Hellhound form.
Yeah, exactly. Just
I
look,
was saying this out of character.
Oh, okay.
in the non-canon timeline where this occurs.
All right, just for a moment, we're gonna get Kyrie's response in there from Calen, and I will let Calen's voice read it.
My love, it's dark. I can't move. I haven't been awake long. Focus on the mission. Save the world. If this is it, I trust you.
Kyrie would immediately start silent crying, just tears flowing down her face. She'll just say out loud, not carrying any conversation she's interrupting. Caitlin's alive. She said to focus on the mission, but she's alive and awake.
Malleus is gonna go over to Kyrie and put a hand on her shoulder and be like, "We'll look for her along the way. I promise we won't let them keep her."
I know. If it's the last thing I do, I will save Calen. She deserves her happy ending.
But she does.
Kyrie will say, should we rest?
We can move on, yes. If I heard correctly. We have to take the ship. Rest on the ship and shift.
Dumey, can I find out if Galloy has any knowledge of sailing?
I'll let.
Kyrie?
I'll let. You know what? No, I don't think you'd have any knowledge of sailing.
Yeah, land-based empire.
Yeah. I don't think there'd be any reason.
Unless sand sailing.
Sand sailing. No.
You know,
no.
I have a tool. I have a surprise tool for this.
No.
I mean, if Kyrie wants to, she can roll with disadvantage. Seeing as how those memories haven't fully come back yet. Doesn't have
I mean,
to.
it couldn't hurt to try.
Couldn't hurt to try.
History, I
mean-
assume.
Yeah, well, history or survival, whichever you like best.
Kyrie, you have been on a boat. You must know how they work.
Yes, you have been on a
I
boat.
don't even remember being on a boat, but let me see what I can figure out.
Kyrie, all
They make they'll go whoosh.
all you can remember is, the boats have crews, and the crews seem pretty busy while the ships are sailing.
I relay this.
Right. Pushes in the deck.
You do have the members of a sailing and shipping town currently at your stronghold.
Do not.
Huh?
I don't think you heard me, but I asked earlier if any of Mia's former slave owners would have had them work on a ship.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did miss that. That's a good question.
It's not this big world shit was.
I mean, we know you've worked on an airship,
Yeah.
and I mean, it's it's possible. Hold on. Yeah.
In the hole.
Yeah.
Shit.
Oh, let's see. Hold on.
I lived on the ocean. I know nothing. In
Yeah.
The ocean.
Mia, you have been on a ship, forced to work on a ship, actually. Actually forced to help the cannoneers. You were the cannonball loader. One of the most dangerous jobs.
Shock and awe. Everyone should be absolutely flabbergasted. I'll just snub the guy, give him the shoulder, and then start throwing out a bunch of boat lingo to everyone about what I would have them do on the ship.
All right, Travis.
Yeah.
Yes, scrub the poop deck. Why are you doing that on a deck?
Give me a... Well, we don't have knowledge checks anymore, do we? How do we feel about just a nature check? A nature
Oh, I
check
don't
followed
feel
by a
good about
history. No, nature and survival check. Intelligence and wisdom. 15.
Nature.
And survival.
Nice.
So Mia, it's not memories you want to think back to. They weren't very sanitary memories or very comforting memories, but you've been on a ship as a slave worker for enough time that you feel fairly confident that you can at least get the ship off of its moors and out into open water.
Oh, sir. I wouldn't be so haughty to laugh us in our face quite yet. Some of us might have experience. We're not all we look like, you know. Anyway, it sounds like we've got some time. Kick our boots up and do some research before we head out.
On top of that, Mia, you would, seeing the size of the ship, you would have enough knowledge to know that a ship that size, to run at full efficiency, probably needs a crew of about 20 individuals. But 10 or 12 could probably have it running at a good speed.
To Malagos,
Yes.
comforting Kyrie, and I say, a minute, please.
Mm-hmm. And she's gonna pat Kyrie on her shoulder once more and walk up to Mia.
Kyrie will
Yeah.
nod thankfully as Malagos goes.
Grab whomever you think is the most efficient but also good with townsfolk. And when we go back to the keep, I need you to get a crew together for the ship.
No, he does immediately gonna look at Garganoff. Hey, Garg.
What's
You're
up?
good with You're good with people.
I'm fantastic with people. They love me. Garganoth, son of Daniel.
We need about 15, anywhere between 15 to 25 people to run this boat. The more efficient, but also the more supplies. We're going to have to fund this out of pocket. But
Garganoth. Oh, sorry.
the townsfolk might feel gracious enough to help us out because we helped them out.
Garganoth scratches his beard. Okay. What kind of vetting or background checks or interrogation? I mean, we don't need to worry about.
How to work a ship.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll find plenty. Aside from you, Garg, actually, Galloy.
Yes.
I know sometimes you scare people, but you're also really good at talking. And if there's 3 of us, we can gather people quicker.
I have been the commander of troops before.
We're not
Wonderful.
commanding troops. We're asking a favor.
A crew would be the same, would it not?
These
No.
are people.
A crew isn't
Who-
run the same, actually.
Yeah, if I can get your help, Galloy, the only thing I want you to do is ask them if they could give us assistance in running a ship. And that we need their help. Or ask them for their help so that we can sail a ship.
I can do this.
I point on the map and I say, that's where we need to go. So that's the route.
Oh, what's the town again? Because I didn't see the full map.
Oh, it's not a
I
town.
point at like the coast where it looks like the head of a snake and all the trees, and then I shift my finger over to the crags, and I say, "Vaults
for the
here."
name.
Sundala vaults are here, where these craggy rocks are showing on the map, and then this forested peninsula right here has people that travel between the Shadowfell. One of those 2 places is going to get us where we need to go.
Franz Flumen is in the bay that is reached by the mouth of the little passageway. And at the southern end of that passageway is a big wooded area with a giant tree in the middle.
So basically, we're asking for their help to sail to Franz Flumen.
Sure.
In a way.
Okay. In a way.
Around Franz Flumen.
We shall have
In
to
that
be aware
direction.
of pirates.
Sorry, no.
Pirates. Beasts. Harpies.
Pursuing
Yeah.
naval fleet.
Yeah. I mean, if we let them know that, hey, we're going here, there's going to be danger on the way.
Or you could just not tell them.
I'll let you make the moral decision what you're comfortable with. Don't let anyone sway you if you're uncomfortable.
This
I
is the town
wouldn't
that
feel
you
right
guys
lying to
started
them.
with.
They're just
Yeah.
civilians.
And if I remember, there might still be some of the sailors left from the port town. Like, they would know the dangers of water, but I would feel much, much better morally if they knew what they were getting into.
Yeah, I say we head back now and we can talk more over the war room / dining room table.
Yes.
Did the elf and the fish dog get supplies? Are they back?
And with those words, we're going to go check on Saren and Hawks. What was your destination, Saren?
Just looking for general supplies and maybe somewhere to sleep if that's what the group is doing, because that's the last thing she knew.
So, this is the general store.
I probably got
This
there.
is a rich person's mansion with a bunch of
Rich
stuff.
people. Probably going to house 5 and 12.
Okay, well, like
Steve Skills.
he
There's a
said,
big skills here?
Yeah.
Mm.
well, like they said, 5 is Ibiwitz's general store. It's still mostly intact with many of the supplies on hand, depending on what you're looking for.
I think fairly general supplies, rations, rope,
Yeah.
stuff like that. Probably
But-
looking more at food supplies more than anything else.
Well, there is plenty of food supplies, both vegetables that are probably a few days old by now, some of which a bit overripe, but others that are still edible. Certain non-perishables like dried fruits, dried meats, that kind of thing, as
grab
well
the
as field
non-perishable
rations.
stuff. I grabbed the non-perishables and field rations, just that stuff in my bag. Very unshamelessly, I
Okay.
might add.
Okay.
Pardon?
Are you gonna?
I am going to leave gold on the counter. I'm not that bad.
And you have your little pack mule hellhound with you.
Oh yeah. I'm just up putting stuff on the hellhound, like extra bags and stuff. Like a little horse.
He just gives an audible sigh.
And then once we're finished there, probably head to the rich person's house.
Lambkin's estate is, well, to neither of you it would not be familiar because you guys weren't there. This is where the whole journey began. Colonel Lambkin's is someone famous for having a bit of a wine store. Made most of the money in wine after retiring from the military. So while the upstairs is rather pompous and, military memorabilia and armor and such hanging about, it wouldn't be until you check the cellar that you would find quite a few casks of aged wines and mulled ciders and even perhaps a few barrels of liquors.
I'm gonna look at Hawks and say it would be really bad of me to steal this, wouldn't it?
I just tilt my head in confusion because I don't understand her.
I'm gonna pick up the bottle and put it in my bag and look at the Hellhound's reaction.
I growl in displeasure.
I'm gonna put it back. I'm gonna say, before I met this group, you all corrupted me. I would have looted this house and I would have sat on the beach and drank. You have all ruined me.
Do you speak do you speak Abyssal?
No, I'm just rambling to you.
Ah, I can't understand shit you say.
I'm gonna leave the rich person's house very sad. And I'm just gonna keep an eye out on the way back to the group if I notice anything in Thieves' Camp that would pique my interest.
Hawk swipes the wine, feeling bad for her. And as we walk out of the house, she can see the Hellhound with a wine bottle in his mouth.
Oh, I'm gonna scratch the Hellhound's face. Go on, you such a good little Hellhound doing things for me, and I'm gonna put the bottle of liquor in my pocket.
I really don't do anything else but follow along.
Do I notice anything Phoebe on the way back to where the port is?
It's still a lot of destruction. You know, a lot of buildings have been pretty demolished, but I don't know. Give me a perception check as you walk.
17.
You might find a few stray coins here and there. Maybe about 7 silver and 4 copper pieces, but nothing super rich catches your eye as you walk along the streets.
Can I use my wisdom roll to sniff around and see if I notice anything else, like food?
If you guys are looking for more food, I mean, sure, you could. Not really, Hawks. I mean, the other buildings between Colonel Lampkin's estate and the dock, I mean, of course there's food in there, you can smell that, but you don't catch anything that particularly catches your senses as important or...
Okay.
As I've probably realized that Hawks can't understand me.
By now,
I'm just
I would
gonna stop-
assume.
I'm gonna start rambling to Hawks about life and things like that. Because he
Oh,
can't understand a
God.
word I'm saying.
I'm trapped. Fuck.
In a very friendly way, I'm talking to you. It's a very friendly tone.
Is it bad that I'm imagining the teacher from Charlie Brown?
But a friendly tone, sir.
Great
Yeah. And then we make our way back to the docks, loaded with all of this dried, non-perishable food. And I gleefully say, we're back! We have field rations and non-perishable food.
Well, how do you feel about sailing?
I have been on a boat before, but I was like a stowaway, so I was in the bottom of the, like at the bottom of the boat where all the rich and important things are, but I didn't actually be on the deck.
Hawks, real quick, just so you know, you understood every word she said.
Well,
Because Since the Hellhound Cloak functions as basically a polymorph spell, and polymorph does not hinder your ability to understand any languages you already knew, you just can't speak. So, yeah, you understood everything she said. Either to your dismay or enjoyment.
I thought the cloak said that they had to speak a certain language to be able to, for me to understand them.
You can only communicate in.
Right, but the Hellhound, I get all the stuff of the Hellhound, don't I?
Yes,
I only
but
understand the Infernal.
alright, but listen, as an action, you can command the cloak to transform you into a Hellhound for up to 1 hour. The transformation otherwise functions as a polymorph spell. Polymorph spells, you keep your understanding even though you have the traits and everything of the other one. So yes, as the Hellhound, you can understand Infernal, while as Hawks, you cannot unless you have that as a language. But you still retain your ability to understand other languages.
I totally knew that. Okay.
So yes, to either your enjoyment or your dismay, you understood everything that Saren was saying, and whether you choose to reveal that to her or not, or save it for a later time, enjoy that knowledge.
Oh boy, I know way too much about Saren now. Saren, you are into way too much kinky shit.
You have no idea what I was sharing with you. How dare you?
Kinky shit like friends.
Okay, so
Trusting people.
I'm going to make a very tough executive decision here. Because on the break, no one had made a decision on where, how, why, or when we were going. Your DM was able to prepare some stuff, but not where this went to. So,
Dude, we did it again.
yep, I had many different scenarios, and I hadn't even thought about the ship until I realized you had a sea captain there still.
You had choices A, B, and C planned, and
We're so good at doing this to you, Doomer.
Plan Ocean.
But yeah, sea voyage. Sea voyage.
We'll
Check
see
notes.
how this
Checks
goes.
notes again. Sea voyage.
Hey guys, did you know I used to live down there?
No. Wait, did you transform out of Hellhound?
No.
Okay, so we're not understanding a word he's saying.
Just
He's
these
just
Exactly.
demonic buffs and barks and growls.
Lux is just barking all this nonsense.
I apparently nope. It's not deep speech. I don't understand it.
So yes,
Pomeranian even as a hellhound. Well, we'll never know.
So just a few things for you guys to think about. A sea voyage will involve, sailing the ship, feeding the crew. There are many different dangers on the water than there are on land.
Yep.
You guys will either have to hire a captain or name a captain. Decide if you're going to be passengers or actually help with the crew. There's a lot of things to think about here, but I mean, it's going to be interesting. I think this will be fun.
Yeah, we also get to get our own flag or banner for the ship or
Uh-huh.
something.
Yep. You can choose to rename the ship if you like.
I think we should call the ship Invictus Sanctum.
Somewhere, a kobold just feels disgusted.
Yes, somewhere.
Somewhere.
Mia
Somewhere.
looks at the captain's hat and snatches it and examines it and then puts it on her head.
Oh boy.
Somewhere, that same kobold now feels very proud. and he's not sure why.
I don't know if we'd ever want to put
Can you add the
Scratch
punctuation?
and Mia in the same room.
Oh,
Something
that
said-
I'm not sure who'd walk out of that room alive.
I'm not sure
I
the
can
room would
feel-
survive.
That's what I'm saying. Is like I don't know who'd walk out of the room alive. Like, and unless we put them in a pocket dimension, I don't think even the pocket dimension. I think putting Scratch and Mia in a pocket dimension would be like putting a bag of holding in a bag of holding.
Well, I'm going to say this to our viewers. Please subscribe to us and follow us here on Twitch and YouTube. Check out our TikTok and the shorts we put on YouTube. Also, just enjoy all of the content we have. It's all there for you to watch and enjoy. Please comment and engage in our little community and join our Discord if you feel so inclined.
Go watch DMing the DMs.
Yes, watch DMing the DMs and be prepared because pretty soon we're going to be doing the same format with a couple of the players at a time. So we're looking forward to that. Yes, and above all else, as we ring in this new year, just remember there are 20 sides to every story. Roll for yours. Have a good night, guys.